stream, a deep dive on radiant health, regeneration, and vibrant living. Thank you so much for being here and sharing some precious moments with me tonight. And I want to continue where I left off on Saturday. So we spoke about the aging, that we don't age through time. This is an illusion. We think time ages us, but no. What truly ages us is what you're holding in your system, such as the stress and the trauma and the unresolved emotions and the toxins and the waste. All that you're holding in your system, which creates a lot of stagnation, a lot of obstruction, which dysregulates your nervous system, and that creates accelerated aging. So I want to touch today, I'm not going to go too long, but today especially, I want to touch on unresolved emotions, because we hold these in our cells, in our tissues. They're stored in the body, and these emotions always going to be there, and they actually unconsciously rule your life until you become aware of them and consciously actually bring them up. So when we think of these emotions that are running our life, you can see it as like you are sitting in the back seat when someone is driving your car, and you're not in control of where you're going and how fast you're going, where you want to stop. And that's exactly like it is. These are ruling you until you become aware and consciously bring them up and love yourself with them, because love is the ultimate alchemical elixir. Love transmutes everything. And it really starts by accepting. We want to first see these emotions, okay, see them for what they are and bring them into the light, and then hold them with so much love, so much acceptance, so much compassion, so much forgiveness. And that's how these emotions have less control over us. Otherwise, they run the show. And most people are actually not aware of the emotion that you are storing in your body, in your beautiful temple. So, and that these emotions show up mostly through other people and situations. That's why whenever, I always have this example of triggers. When someone triggers you, whether it's a person or there's a situation that triggers you, they are actually giving you a gift. So I want you to see triggers are treasures. They're actually messengers. When you get triggered by someone or by a situation, that is simply a sign. Okay, the emotions come up. Emotions are the response to that situation. Let's say someone says something and you get angry. And then you say, oh, that person is making me angry. But the transformation happens, that's when emotional mastery starts, by realizing it's not the other person that makes you angry. It is that you have anger within yourself that is simply being activated. So the past is being excavated, it's being rehashed, because these emotions were stored within you most likely in childhood. Most unresolved emotions and trauma actually come from the first 7 years. So I want you to see yourself in the first 7 years as a child. You're like a blank slate. You absorb everything that you see, that you hear, everything you're surrounded with. And your biggest role models are your parents. Your mother is the female role model, and the dad is the male role model. And these influence you the most. And everything you see as a child, everything you hear, everything you're exposed to, everything you've been told is then imprinted onto you. It's like programs that are installed within you. And you can see yourself, your body is a sophisticated biocomputer. And it runs program. But most of these programs that are installed in the first 7 years, these are actually not your programs. They were given to you by the people you were surrounded with. And also, they were imprinted on you by society. What you heard on TV, in the news, what you hear on the street, what you heard early in elementary school, in kindergarten. All that is simply, on that blank slate, is simply imprinted, installed, downloaded onto you. And many of these programs are not serving you. It all depends how conscious your parents were. But most of us, we did not grow up with very conscious parents. I certainly didn't. And most of us didn't. So often our parents might have said something, something like this. They might be like stressed out, say, oh, you're so stupid. And as a child, you believe then you are stupid. And you download a program, you are stupid. And this program runs for the rest of your life until you become aware that there's a program running. And every time something happens, again, you tell yourself, okay, here again is a proof I'm stupid. You drop something, oh, that's because I'm stupid. You make a mistake somewhere, you tell yourself, okay, it's because I'm stupid. So the program gets reinforced over and over and over again. And over the years, these programs are deeply ingrained to the point that certain people seriously believe they're just not smart because they're stupid, and life has given them situations over and over again, proving them that they are stupid. And only when you recognize, hey, this is just a program, then you realize you can actually delete this program, interrupt the pattern of this program by telling yourself the opposite, I'm actually very smart. And that takes practice. So it's about creating little successes, showing yourself, okay, here, this is actually a sign. I'm really smart. I'm really intelligent. I'm not stupid, So it's again proving yourself over and over again that you are not stupid. And this is just an example. This is just one of the programs. It could be, there's so many programs that can running, such as, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you don't deserve it, you can't afford it, you're not pretty enough, you're not tall enough, you're not skinny enough, you're not blonde enough, your breasts have the wrong size, your legs have the wrong size, you're too much of this, too much of that, life is hard, it's everything is difficult, I can't afford this, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, blah, blah, blah. This is all programs that we've been heard over the years, and they keep getting re-imprinted, reinforced every time something shows up that is related to one of these programs. So the key is to realize these are simply programs. They are not serving you. Most of them have never served you. And it's time to let go of them. That means you can erase the programs by telling yourself, like, I deserve the very best in life. I deserve love. I deserve vibrant health. I deserve to have inner peace. I deserve to have a bank account that's loaded with lots of money. I deserve to live in abundance, be able to afford anything that my heart desires. I deserve to have a partner that adores me and cherishes me for who I am. I deserve to have a beautiful body and have vibrant health at any age. This is just like new programs that can then override the old programs. But this is really the key to realizing, when something comes up and your emotions are your guidance system. The moment you don't feel good, that's a sign there's some kind of old program kicking in, because your natural state is to be happy, is to feel joy, is to share love and to receive love. Your natural state is to feel worthy, so worthy of all the good things in life, is to experience pleasure and joy and ecstasy, and to wake up in the morning being excited, being inspired about life, being creative. That is your natural state. And that's what nature intended for you. But the moment you don't feel that, that's a sign an old program has kicked in. And now it's time to let go of this program by realizing, okay, this is just an old pattern that has kicked in. And I know this is not the truth and it's not serving me. So I choose to let it go by creating my new program. I am enough. I'm worthy just the way I am. And life is here to support me and to protect me and to guide me and bring me the very best. I'm open to receive life. Give it to me. I'm ready to receive it all because it's my birthright. It's my natural state. That's what I came here for. Because you didn't come here to struggle or to survive or to just get through your day. No, you didn't come here for that. You came here to live life to its fullest. You came here to share your gift, your precious gift, because we all came here for our unique gift. We all came here for something special, because you have a gift that no one else has the same gift, something that is unique to you. It's a unique frequency you share, a unique energy that's emanating out of you, a unique way of expressing yourself. You might have some kind of wisdom to teach, something to share that uplifts and enriches others. You might have a special talent, maybe a beautiful voice. You have maybe a talent for art, whether it's painting, writing, dancing, any way of expressing yourself. But I can guarantee you there's something you have that's unique to you that no one else has the exact same thing. Maybe you have an experience, something you experienced one day where you broke through and you had a transformation. It was like, maybe it was you lost 20 pounds. And then you have actually a recipe. Hey, this is what I did and I lost 20 pounds. So someone else there wants to lose 20 pounds. So maybe it's time to share how did I lose those 20 pounds. Maybe you overcame an illness. Maybe you went through a breakdown, heartbreak, which was really difficult. Did you manage to come to the other side to experience true love again? Maybe you had some financial disaster and you managed to get again back to wealth. Everyone has something. They broke through something, a difficult time, a dark night of the soul, some kind of loss, some experience that was considered negative, and they transformed through that. And that is that someone else needs in this world. So this is really the time to really look, what is my true gift, and share your gift. Instead of wallowing in these old programs of not being good enough, not feeling worthy, instead of telling yourself, hey, I'm worthy of the very best. And I'm here to make a massive difference in this world. And by really stepping into your gift and stepping of service and being there for others and being the inspiration, that's how you transform these old programs. They will have no more power over you because you're showing up as someone who has value, someone who makes a difference in the world, someone who shines the light out there. Because more people need to shine their light out there. Okay, so this is the time, maybe you haven't really stepped into your purpose, you haven't really stepped up yet. This is the time to get out of this stagnation state and telling yourself, I'm not worthy, to step out there and say, hey, I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to share my light. I'm here to share my experience and my gift. And that's how you actually eradicate really quickly all these programs that they're trying to rule you, okay? And every time someone triggers you, instead of reacting to the trigger, you say, thank you, universe, for showing me something that needs to be paid attention to. There's some kind of emotion within myself that requires refinement, that needs a little bit of polishing here and there, but I'm glad I know about it. So when someone triggers you, they always give you a gift. So I invite you to embrace the triggers as lessons, as gifts. This is something for you to put the mirror at, because everyone who is triggering you is simply pointing the mirror at you, because they're showing you something about you that you need to look at. And when you're willing to look at it and put it in the light and see it for what it is, that's how it has less power over you. And then ultimately it can be transmuted, and all darkness can be transmuted into the light. All negative emotions can be transmuted into something positive, into something enlightening. So always embrace the triggers, embrace people that trigger you, embrace situations that trigger you, and say, hey, there's something I need to learn here. They're just simply pointing the light at you, because at the end, we live in a great hall of mirrors. That's the surprise. Everyone is your mirror. All situations are your mirrors. They're simply pointing the light back at you. And this might be a big lesson for some of you, because at the end it's about being 100% responsible for everything in your life. And when you learn to use these triggers as treasures and lessons, at some point you realize there's less and less people that trigger you. Because at the end it's about, true power is learning to be with every person, every situation, without being triggered, without having an emotional response, but rather learn to be grounded and centered and calm and collected, even amidst the storm. That is true power, when no one triggers you anymore. You can actually be with anyone who has an opinion completely different than you, who sees the world in an entire different way, but you can still be there with that person and not react by simply listening. And there's no need to get them on your side or trying to point out why they're wrong. There's no need to judge them or convince them that they are wrong. And you need to get your point across. Every time you need to persuade someone or convince someone or get your point, I need to get my point here, that is a sign you've been triggered. And there's actually something inside of you that is then being activated. And that comes from a wound that actually shows you wounded by needing to get the other person just where you are. And I know very well about this. I used to be extremely judgmental because I was in a certain way of eating and everyone had to eat the way I am because that's the way to eat. That's where they feel the best. You have the most energy. And I try to convince people, constantly persuading them and judging them. It never works, ever, ever, ever. Okay? The way to get people inspired is to just be the role model. This is what I'm doing. This is who I am. And if you don't like it, that's okay. And I totally accept where you are. There's no judgment. You can actually agree to disagree. And that is powerful when you can be with another person in the same room and you have no emotional reaction. Even they do stuff you would never do, or they live a certain way that's completely the opposite of you, but you can still be there and listen. So, okay, I get it. This is how you feel. This is what you like, and I'm fine with that. That is peace. I tell you, when you get to such a place, you can actually experience inner peace, and the goal is to be with anyone, in any moment, in any situation, and not being triggered. That is true power, and that takes practice. So it starts by realizing, when you get triggered, okay, this is my stuff is being activated. It's not the person out there, it's my stuff. And I have the responsibility now to heal that wound. By first thing is to pause. When you get triggered, instead of reacting like you've always done, you pause. You take a breath, you breathe. Your breath is the anchor into the now moment. Yes, the breath is very powerful. It anchors you to the here and now. And to breathe, say, okay, I'm being triggered. This is my wound is being activated. This is my emotions coming up. And then you breathe through them. If the emotions are really intense, sometimes we have to separate from the person. Say, listen, I need to go to the other room, or I have to go outside. I have to process what I'm just experiencing. Then you go in the other room. You get grounded. You sit down. You breathe until you feel more grounded and calm. And sometimes when the emotion is too intense, we got to move. We have to move the body. We have to shake it out and dancing out and running out. Any movement you can do to move through these emotions when they're really intense. If there's intense anger, I recommend to shake it out. And then once you get more grounded and calm, then you can reflect back on the situation. Okay, why did I just get triggered? What is it about the person? What did the person say that really triggers me and activated this wound? And when did I feel like this before in childhood? What does the person remind me of? This is all little signs, So we want to dive deep a little bit, and then we go back to the situations and then come back in a very calm, grounded way, and then continue whatever happened before in a more calm, grounded way. But the key is always, number one, awareness. I'm being triggered. Number two, to pause and not to react. And then number three, look, really that's when the deep inner work comes, looking at myself, why do I get angry? This is my anger. Where did my anger start? Where does my anger come from? What happened in my childhood that got me angry? Maybe I was not allowed to be angry. Maybe my dad or my mom were always angry. Maybe the environment I grew up, there was a lot of anger. Or maybe the anger was so suppressed, because we often are not allowed to be angry. When we suppress something, it doesn't go away. It's actually stored, and it gets bigger and deeper over time. Be non-reactive to situations, but rather respond from a higher place, from a more peaceful place, from a more loving place, from a place of acceptance. And that's how we shift. And if we practice this over and over and over again, over time, these emotions will no more longer control us, because we are mastering these emotions. And that is emotional mastery. And if you want to know more about emotional mastery and truly master your life, become the ruler of your life in your emotional world, and learn to surf through these emotions, because the only way out is in and through. So we gotta have surfing skills, move through those waves. If you want to know more and become a master of it, I have a link in my bio. You can click on that, and I have a 30-day program where I work with you one-on-one for 30 days on emotional mastery. So if that interests you, just check out the link or send me a message, and I'll be happy to support you. And thank you for being here tonight. And if you like this video, if you think it's helpful, please share it with your friends, and please like it. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Okay, there's more to come on empowerment and really living a vibrant life, a life full of ecstasy and joy and ageless living, and having a body that you love at any age. Being able to wake up in the morning full of energy, creating peak states of energy without never needing stimulants. All this is what I'm going to share. And there will be regular deep dives like today, and a lot of shorts as well available. So thank you so much for being here tonight, and I'm sending so much love.